you need to give Google all your marketing data. Oh, this is a hot take you do not want to miss. Glenn, take it away.
Sure, I'm probably already getting some people upset just by having a title like that, but give me a minute, give me a few more than a few minutes, and I'll tell you why I'm saying that. So let's forget about the technical side of how marketing has gone all digital. Let's just roll back to some fundamentals here for a second. Let's talk about how marketing helps a business, right? So marketing is there, in my view, to be bringing new business in, new revenue. But the cost that you have to expend in order to bring in that new revenue has obviously got to be less than the revenue. So if people hang around finance folks for a while, they may be used to seeing something like this. Now, maybe it's in numbers, but if you plot it out like you've got here, if we look on the left, we see here's this big blue line's how much revenue a business has coming in. And what we start in our, profit and loss is we start to pull out costs. So we've got the cost of the actual goods that you're selling, the cost of servicing the client, there's, overhead. And then we've got this CAC, cost of acquisition, or cost of acquiring a customer. And I think that if marketing is to be sitting at the table and representing things, marketing has to own that cost. Marketing should say that they can influence that cost, that they can do it better, and that when new tools come along that may allow marketing to get that cost down, that the rest of the business needs to listen to marketing. So I think that this is actually an important reason why some marketers gripe about the fact that they don't get a seat at the table, is because they may not be speaking to finance or the rest of the leadership in this way. But if we can boil down everything that we call a department cost in marketing, and we can bring it down on an activity level, like a per new customer level, which we call unit economics, then marketing should start to be able to see that as something that they can influence. Now, I want to believe that marketing is an investment, not a cost, but for the sake of this argument, let's just go with the fact that in the world of how accounting is done, we're sitting here as the cost of acquisition. But we also can influence revenue. So this is where I want to take us. If we figure out how, as I've got over here on the right, to control those customer acquisition costs, and they become a smaller portion on a per unit basis of every piece of revenue we bring in, then that's going to leave more room for profit. And marketing at that point can justifiably say that they led to that. All right, so I'm even allowing for the fact that marketing can grow revenue. Of course, that's true. But in this way of analyzing it, marketing is going to focus on making sure that cost is down. When they preserve the profit, marketing is then the hero of the story, and we get to continue to be a valued member in our company's leadership. What does Google have to do with all this? Well, any kind of B2B organization I've worked with has data silos. And that data silo is felt when you have a sales org that's on a different system than marketing's on. And finance is even further removed. So when marketing is trying to bring in new traffic, but they don't get full visibility into what's happening post-click, post-conversion with that traffic, how many of those leads became qualified, became opportunities, became closes, marketing can't tell those traffic sources, those traffic acquisition channels, whether some of them were worthwhile or not. Which ones were worthwhile? What was it about the ones that came through that were worthwhile that would make that traffic acquisition channel go look for others like them? And as I've got in my little illustration here, on the other side of this equation, we've got Google sitting there, most notably, who's saying, hey, you don't have that data? That's okay. I'm going to figure out how to spend it anyway. And they do. And that uncontrolled spending by their algorithms translates into an out of control customer acquisition cost. So it's not the situation that we want to be in when we're sitting around the table with the rest of management. We go into different maturities here, but I want us to focus on the third one here, where we say we could be connected. This was part of a BCG study that was saying we can get ourselves out of this fix if we can connect those data pieces. Google Analytics 4, I think, offers a new opportunity for us to do this. And I'm not talking necessarily about the interface part of Google Analytics 4. I'm talking about what we have at the bottom end here, which is Google Analytics 4 available in a raw database format. Because through the Google Cloud Platform, we have free access to it, which also allows us to bring in all of our other types of data, like I've got here on the left of this diagram. So once you bring in your ad channel platform and you bring in your marketing automation and your CRM systems, you can first, for the Google ecosystem, you can feed that information in. You've got a end-to-end line of visibility for what's happening, and you can feed back from deep in the funnel the things that made certain customers your high value or your high close rate customers, and you can inform Google Ads and the other Google, Display and Video 360 and others of what it was about them. I want to be clear here, because I fudged a little on the title. You're not giving them all the data. You're not giving them the person's name. It's not personally identifiable. You are giving them a user ID, but to them, that's just as valuable.